Welcome back to Burnt Shin. Today we're doing fresh tracks, something that we've never done before. It's called Montserrat Lookout. It's called Montserrat because apparently it looks like the Mt Montserrat in the Caribbean. This is definitely not the Caribbean. There's not blue water and stuff around here. We are deep into the bush. There's a bit of a four-wheel drive track coming in. There's private property and stuff that you got to go through. There's a couple of gates that you got to go through, but even if it says private property, no admittance, just go through it anyway. And then eventually you'll end up at a car park, which today's really busy. It is a Saturday, but nobody's got like overnight packs and stuff, so I think they must just be going to the upper portals, while we are going to upper portals tomorrow. We're going to go up to camp at the lookout. Have a couple of beers at the summit for sunrise, and then we'll head down from the campsite down into the upper portals and kind of follow the portals and the creek back to the track, and then back to the car.
Headed out of the car park.
Yeah. Up here. So literally 2 minutes from the car park has a really nice view of Mount Maroon and of Mount May. But where we're going is along this kind of mown access track, and we're kind of going up into the hill right up there, if you can see it, and that way we got views of Mt Barney, but obviously it's going to look a lot better at the top. But yeah, 2 minutes in, just super nice views already, so that's a good omen for what's to come, I think. Okay, so once you come down from the top, you're basically walking down a really steep like fire trail, access track, I guess say. It's going to be so bad doing that tomorrow afternoon when we come back out of here. It's like the last bit before you get to the car park, just going to be a real steep uphill dirt road. I must admit, it is quite nice on a cloudy day and not sunny. We did sprinkled rain when we were driving in here, and I'm like, oh, it could be a wet camp, but I think we might be all right. It's just overcast. There's no like real dark clouds, but it's so nice and cool. It's, what are we, November, mid-November? You'd think this would be really hot and steamy, and it has been the last week, but now I think that cloud cover's just like taking some of that temperature out, which, I mean, you can't complain about it. Okay. So for the last 20 to 30 minutes, we've been walking down an access road, and it's steep. Tomorrow's going to really hurt. Now, if you do come to this clearing, this little meadow, what we need to do is we need to turn right. We've got to cross a creek, so I might have to kick the boots off. I reckon. Thank God for hiking poles, eh? Nice. Good job. Alright, so that river was actually pretty easy to get over. After heavy rain though, yeah, it'd be definitely like knee deep. I think we're going to put on our gaiters because it looks like the rest of the track's going to be this really long grass. It's not just snakes that we're worried about. It's ticks and shit falling into our shoes. The last thing I want is to have to bloody pull up all the time to get rocks out of my shoe or that kind of thing. So we've just been going through some like long grass, still like an access road, I guess. But we're coming up to, looks like a farm shed or something like that. I don't know if it's somebody's property or what it is. Maybe we can pull in there for a cup of tea and a scone. All right, so when you come to the hikers huts or whatever they are, don't cross the creek. The GPS says to go up this hill and follow the path. We have seen videos where people cross the creek and they walk through that property, but I'm going to trust the GPS on this one. Very uphill. We are quadrupeds.
Back in time, and that's the Lincoln bomber.
But yeah. Okay, so by looking at the landscape, you'd think that this is not very defined. When you're looking at it, like just from face view, it just looks like you're just going to walk through bush. But to be honest, it's actually pretty well marked. Like the trail is pretty well trodden. You can kind of see what it's like. We are getting eaten by march flies, which sucks. Oh, was it an ant, was it? Yeah. Well, I'm getting done by flies. Dossie's getting done by ants. So we might keep pushing on until we can actually sit on a rock.
It didn't look like a fly. It looked like a grasshopper. I was standing right in a fucking ant. I thought it was a grasshopper when I saw it. Cute little.
Look how cute it is.
Yeah. So I can do what to bring those big thingers at it down. Shelf that.
Alright, so these are the march flies that we're dealing with. Look, we should have put the DEET on a lot earlier. We don't really like to camp and sleep with insect repellent on, but we were getting bitten so bad. So yeah, the DEET worked. They're still flying around, but they're not landing on us or biting us, so that's good news. Okay, we've stopped at the big tree for lunch and some snacks, and just to recuperate a bit. We've still got 220 meters? 220 meters of elevation to go, so we're probably still another, I reckon, an hour away. But we're getting closer and closer, so we're just going to keep meandering up the hill. It's only lunchtime, so we still have plenty of time. Don't think sunset's till 6:30, so we'll be up there with 4 or 5 hours of daylight, no doubt. Okay, see ya soon. Okay, after a massive uphill struggle from the creek, and I'm talking like uphill, there hasn't been a reprieve. There hasn't been like a plateau where you kind of walk uphill and then like have a bit of a break as you kind of like walk along a flat spot. There has been none of that. It's just been uphill the whole time. But after, I think we've been going for a couple of hours, we can see this rock face, and I'm pretty sure that's the peak. Unless it's a false summit, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's it. We made it. I think this is the end of the uphill for this adventure. Once we stand on top of here, it's nothing but downhill until the last bit where we're near the car park. But what? That's awesome. So, cool lookout. We're gonna go set up camp, find a place where I can swing this hammock, and then we'll be back for beers at sunset at pretty much the coolest friggin' lookout in the area. Pretty cool. Righto. Camp's up. Oh yeah. Plenty of flat places. Hammocks might be a bit of an issue. Probably that tree and that tree maybe. That's the track there for tomorrow that goes to the portals. That's when we take. Okay, camp is set up. So this is a first for me. I've never done a hammock camp before. As you can see, I haven't really even put this up. I did put this up at home to see if it would support my weight, and it does. And we've had a couple of ticks already. I think they were just on our packs, and when we were chucking our packs off, they ended up crawling and landing on our skin and keep burying in. But this does have a bug net, so we should be sweet once I'm zipped up. But game changer, because I don't have to worry about flat ground, even though this campsite does have plenty of spaces. How many tents you reckon you could set up here?
4 comfortably.
4 comfortably, yeah, I reckon. Maybe the 4th one might pick a not so flat spot. But yeah, I reckon you'd sneak it in. Alright, so that's a helicopter hovering. Way over at Mt Barney. It's obviously a rescue. It's between Tom's Tum and Mt Barney. It's about 3/4 of the way up. I wonder if they're doing, like they've dropped someone down there to get them maybe, or whether or not it's just a search. I'm not sure, but I hope they're all right. All right, well, while we're watching this chopper rescue over at Mt Barney, I'm gonna have this Mercury hard cider. What are you drinking, Dos?
Fox Hat.
Fox Hat. Nice little reward.
Okay, good morning. Hopefully you can hear that, but we just had a massive thunderstorm roll through at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm guessing this is the one that was supposed to hit. This was the one that was supposed to hit tonight. It is thunder and lightning, and we are in the middle of nowhere. It's really cool at the same point. Like, well, I'm actually in a hammock hanging from trees, so I hope nothing hits.
Good morning from Montserrat Lookout, remote bush camp. Sorry, I'll see if I can stay out of this wind. We're making the executive decision to not go down this massive steep hill in the wet, because that's a good like hour of walking till you get to the upper portals, and even then we've got to rock hop and slide down the portals to get back to the car. And we just had the biggest thunderstorm and rainstorm that come through. Well, basically I was just hiding in my hammock, Dossie was in his tent, and it was big lightning and big bangs, which was pretty spooky. But the big storm's kind of passed over us now, but it still looks like we've got a fair bit of rain on the way. So all this track here is just going to be yucky, slippery, dangerous. So we're just going to make the trek back down to the car. I've got a tick head in my belly. He must have been feeding on me last night. I tried to pull him out as one, but just his body come out. Then I tried Dossie's knife to try to like jimmy the bit out, but I need some tweezers. So I've probably got a whole bunch of other ticks on me as well, but we'll sort that out when we get back. But we're packing up. We're gonna tuck out of here and get into some warm clothes and a cold beer, I think. Say goodbye to this lookout. The rocks are really slippery. Ooh. Wow. Goodbye Mt Barney. Goodbye Mount Maroon. Goodbye Montserrat. Because of all the rain, it's pushed down a lot of the grass, so we're a little bit lost at the moment. There's like, you're kind of following a path and it gets to a point, and because of so much rain last night and sticks down and stuff, it's just kind of hidden it from us. So we're trying a few different routes, a few little cattle tracks, and see what they do, but we're not going to go too far off track. We'll just keep backtracking to what we know is the path until we find our way. All right, we're going to head up. We're going to head up to the ridgeline a bit to hopefully come across something. Like, this looks like a bit of a track. Oh, here we go. This is more defined. Yeah, we're good. So the last thing we want now is getting lost in the bush. Despite being covered in ticks and soaked by the storm, the hike back down the mountain was visually stunning, with fog and rain transforming the landscape. Plans were already forming to return the following weekend to find the upper portals. Bloody ticks, man.
Immortalise him in for eternity.
Oh, well, like, where did he come from? The week passed, and we met at Canungra, this time welcoming another adventure for an overnight journey. Alright, these boys are talking about something. We've started again. We're back out here at Mt Barney National Park. We're doing the upper portals because we tried to get there after our last camp at Montserrat, but we got stormed out. So just to complete the area off, we wanted to go check it out, have a little camp out there, have a swim because it is a hot day today. So it's basically the same it's the same track as what we did to do Montserrat, but when we get to the creek, we're going to turn left instead of turning right to go to Montserrat. So upper portals to the left, Montserrat to the right. But I'll show you when we get there.
I have to go to maybe go Harbour Channel.
Okay, so we made it to the junction, to Montserrat, where we went last time, through that creek, up into the bush and up the hill. So we're at this sign, we're heading that way. Alright, we're coming to a bit of a creek, but it looks like we're not crossing it. We're following a path this way. Yeah, don't go across the creek. Actually, so you do cross a creek.
Are your shoes waterproof?
Yeah. Yeah, right up to the ankles, bro. Like, I didn't get wet at all then. So it's actually 2 crossings. Nick's going left. Looks alright. Jossie's going right. Might go right too. Creek crossing number 3. Nick's definitely not getting burnt today with his 2 hats.
No.
Creek crossing number 4. We've had a bit of rain lately, so it's definitely flowing. You either take your shoes off or
That last one moved.
have some mids. I haven't needed to take these off yet, but doesn't mean I can't fall in still. Creek crossing number 5. Creek crossing number 6. Alright, we're coming up to creek crossing number 7. All Trail says we're about halfway, which is cool. It's pretty hot, steamy. I'm keen for a swim. Alright, water crossing number 8, and this looks like it's gonna be the biggest one, maybe. Unless Dossie finds a way out to the side. Nick's taking his shoes off. Oh, Creek 9. I'm just going to go with the same method. I got a little bit wet on that one. I might have lost count, but I think this is creek crossing number 10. Alright, this is Yamara Remote Bush Camp. It's where we're going to be tonight. There's already somebody here and they got wet boots, so I reckon they come in this morning like us, so we'll have company. It's not hard to miss. There's literally a sign right there. That's just water, eh? Here we are, I've got like water bladders and that. Nick brings out a jar of water. Alright, so we just set up camp. There's actually a campsite a little bit further down, which is still Yamara Creek campsite, I think, where the sign says. So we're only just up there and we're right next to the creek, which is sick. There's mad swimming holes. There's one just above up there, which looks nice and deep. That one over there looks nice and deep. But we're going to try get to the actual portals. I think it's like a few 100 meters walk. Alright, this is really cool. It's just like every 10 meters, it's just like this, like just more and more awesome rock pools. Now, All Trails app says it is like 100 meters up. So we will go find the portals. But, I mean, if you didn't even make it, like, this is just so nice anyway. This whole creek is so good. There's so many swimming spots. Like, even if this was packed, like, beautiful sunny rock, you could literally sit here like a lizard. That's like nice and deep. So when you're coming across a creek, I'll show you when we get back out, but there is a track. If you stick to the right side of the creek heading downstream, up into the bush, there is like just an easier track. Instead of trying to like rock hop the whole way, you can just follow along the side of it, which, whoa! And that rock's really slippery.
Don't edit that out.
Don't stand on that rock, that's slippery. Starting to hear some heavier water. This guy chooses his own adventure. We can see the portals. We're nearly there. There's so many nice cool pools on the way. We're probably only about, probably a couple of 100 meters from the campsite. The same thing, just like sport for choice for rock pools to swim in. But you can start seeing a little bit of structure a little bit further up, which is what we're after. What? This place is awesome. Look at this place. Look at this place. Time it. Okie dokie. We're out. It was a good mission. I think we can square this area off till next year or another time. Upper Porters was sick, and a little bit of a bonus after that big steep hill where it was really awesome fog. Which is nice to cool down after the hike before we drive back. Okay, see you. Peace.